Hey guys, welcome to my channel, AquaStarGoddess. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and smash the like button. So, okay, so I'm just literally learning like all sorts of things right now. Tonight's title is Billionaires Use Astrology, and here's why. So I heard the statement recently that billionaires use astrology, billionaires don't, right? Millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do. So there's no real significance to that, except that it's going to, you know, if you want to be on your, you know, elite self, on your elite side, on the elite side of yourself, then you will be kind of, you know, using this, right? So I was just looking at some new placements, not natal placements, but some placements that are coming up. So we definitely have a lot of transitions that are happening in the astrology right now, and it's going to be quite a few. We've got let me see here. We've got Aquarius eclipse coming up. We've got Saturn in Aries that just transitions. I'm not sure if it was recently or what, but you know, Saturn in Aries transit, and then there's a whole bunch of other transits as well. And I haven't gotten to like the nitty-gritty of like comparing all of those transits and putting them all together, but I am kind of taking piece by piece. And so just now I was looking at the Aquarius eclipse with the Saturn in Aries impact on how that may impact you. And boy, oh boy, I mean, the details that I'm getting break down like how I should and should not proceed, like moving forward. Like it just kind of, you just have like this theme about how you are going to grow in the next stage or in the next time frame. So I want to share just a couple of things so that it makes sense what I'm talking about. So for instance, I went and used my chat, and it's talking about how Saturn in Aries for me is going to push me to take more action, right? So let's see, it's going to also shift potential into authority, awareness into construction, observation into ownership. So the reason, hi, how are you? So yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just trying to, I'm just doing a little astro talk today. So talking a little bit about some of the things that I'm learning in my kind of next placements or the placements that are coming up. So anyway, I was looking at the Aquarius eclipse as well as the Saturn in Aries based upon my placements. And it says an Aquarius eclipse activates themes such as liberation, detachment, truth, revelations, breaking energetic cords, shifting in friendships, communities, and future path. Like all of these things have already begun to happen. Like I have already had like a shift and a disconnect in two, you know, long-term connections that I had, and also set an awareness about patterns you've been studying. So yeah, so I actually have been studying patterns, certain like energetic patterns and certain spiritual patterns as well. And so I am kind of coming to awareness about some of those things as well. On the way where? So eclipses don't create energy, but they expose what's already there and accelerate timelines. So I feel like what's going to occur is like basically like this eclipse is going to, I feel like this is an opportunity to like shift into like a specific timeline, right? I don't want to talk too much about that though, because I just want to confirm that. Like, don't take my word for it, right? Like, I don't know for sure, but I just feel that way. I just really feel that way. But one of the other things that I was noticing in this information is that it talks about how, hold on, it basically is saying that this energy is preparing me to be like in a space and in a position of authority. Like literally, it's telling me that this energy is literally telling me that I'm supposed to be put into leadership, right? And so it's so interesting that this is happening, because then I had this comment today on my TikTok, right? And I know it's just a comment on TikTok, but I feel like everything has a reason and a place, and I feel like everything has like symbology to it. So then I was like, just, you know, I was just posting stuff on TikTok this morning or this afternoon, and I actually found this really cute gazebo, this place where there's like a pond and it's a gazebo and it's like really cute. So I was like, oh, I shot like 4 videos over there today. So then when I did that, and then somebody goes, lead the way, oh fearless one, we're behind you, right? I just thought that was kind of interesting, considering that I started reading about my astrology, and it's talking about how, you know, like it's pushing me, this energy that's coming up is literally pushing me and propelling me into like leadership, right? Which, I mean, leadership of what? Like, I mean, I've been running businesses, so that would be sort of a form of leadership also automatically. But now, like, other than that, what else? Like, what are we talking about here? But anyway, that's not the point though. The point is that I just wanted to talk about how much details you can get from your astrology and from your astrological natal charts placements, and how the years progress. You can get information from those transits that do occur as well. So one of the things that, let me see here. Okay, so, okay, I was looking for something specific. Maybe I read past it on accident. Oh Lord, did I pass it? Anyway, one of the things that really kind of got me interested in like talking about this on live, it was just talking about how, okay, I don't want to listen to this, not right now. I'm not in the energy of this right now. Go back here. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry about that distraction here. So I'm trying to just get my focus back. For sensitive or intuitive people, no, not that part. Stop observing the pattern, now act. Okay, so let's just talk about this specifically. So Saturn in Aries plus Aquarius energy. So Saturn is all about discipline. It's all about reality checks, karmic lessons. Aries is about action, identity, independence, and courage. So this combo says stop observing the pattern and now it's time to act. So for Aquarius placements, this creates a tension between Aquarius, which is observing, analyzing, and detaching, and Aries, which is initiating, confronting, reclaiming self. So you may feel pushed to take control of your energy instead of just studying it. Set firm boundaries, choose yourself over entanglements, and start something independent. Yes, entrepreneurship is favored. So I'm not about to go back, and you know, entrepreneurship is going to be my way of life in general. Like that's just how it's going to be. You know, there's going to be some ups and there's going to be some downs. I've had some downs recently because I have not been, I don't know, I've just been uncertain about whether or not I wanted to continue on with certain business paths, right? Or just I've been procrastinating or not taking action on certain things, like, right? But anyway, this energy that is coming up is literally the type of energy that will push you to act. There is no more twiddling your thumb. And what it says in here is that if you do end up like stagnating, like if I did end up stagnating, if I did end up procrastinating, twiddling my thumbs, not moving, then Saturn is going to cause pressure. Like it's going to squeeze, basically. It's going to cause pressure in some kind of way to force me to do so. Now I do recognize this because I don't know where Saturn is right now in my natal chart. I think it's in Sagittarius, I don't know, but I know that I have been being pressured to, within my relationships, to kind of go from a space of being like in this sort of like doing or staying in relationships for the purpose of, you know, the duty of it all, right? Like taking, you know, because we have children and we have to take care of the children. So I was being pushed out of that space of just staying in a relationship for that reason, but also, you know, going into relationships that are about desire, you know, because apparently multiple lifetimes I've had the same options of choosing something that I just really never chose. And so in this lifetime, it's like I was being squozed from both sides. So both sides like were like, you know what I mean, pushing me to step beyond what I know, which is pretty much choosing the dutiful path, or choosing the path that, you know, I'm supposed to choose because this is how we do it, this is society, and I'm a noble woman or some shit like that, or I'm supposed to do the right thing kind of vibe, right? And going into a path that doesn't actually look like society says it should, or doesn't actually look like religion says it should, or doesn't actually look like my parents says it should, or the kingdom says it should, right? Because the reality is that I've been, when I looked at some of my past lives, there's definitely royalty in past lives where you are, if you are like the heir to a throne, you don't get no choice. What you talking about? There is no choice. You don't get to decide if you're gonna you don't get to decide if you're gonna go and, you know, be with your lover. You don't know. There is none of that. You are a part of the kingdom, and the kingdom says that you need to do this in order to do the right thing. And so you must make that dutiful decision. And so this lifetime I have been under, the Saturn has been pressuring me for the last multiple years to move out of that decision space of just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Or just doing something because it seems to be the right thing to do, or because religion says I'm supposed to do it. And I'm supposed to actually be moving into living for my own desires, my own likes, my own needs, my own wants, you know? Another part of that was not kind of like taking on other people's burdens, other people's mental and emotional burdens. And so a part of that lesson came with me having to kind of like drop the burden of, you know, of, I don't know, duty maybe, and also the burden of others. Which is very interesting because it also shows that, so for instance, my husband, he has been having a difficult time like releasing that control. And it's, for him, it's like he's had like this entitlement about the whole thing, right? Like, I'm entitled to you because you're my wife, and this and that, and it makes a lot of sense to me now, looking at when I've been studying my astrology, and I've been studying my natal charts and the placements and things like that. And it makes a lot more sense now why all of this is kind of occurring, why the certain behaviors I saw from him and versus, you know, my other person. So it just made a lot of sense why all of these energies kind of converged, because basically spirit is telling me, not spirit, but the energy was pushing me to expand from what I normally do, which is I normally choose to do the right thing, the dutiful thing. I'm you know, I'm the heir to the kingdom, so I have to do this thing. So, you know, I move in those directions of what I have to choose. And so this lifetime I kind of chosen differently. You know, this time I've kind of chosen to go along with, you know, living my life for myself and choosing to kind of express myself a little more, right? Now whether that worked out or not, I don't know that that matters, right? But either way, you know, that was kind of the lesson. So now what we're seeing is that we're moving into Saturn in Aries, and it's telling me that Saturn in Aries pressure comes when you try to control everything alone. So it's letting me know that I'm a leader, and when you're a leader, you're delegating, you're giving other people jobs to do and stuff like that. You're not doing it all yourself. It also says ask for support strategically, rush impulsively. So Aries wants speed, Saturn demands patience, right? Stay stuck in mental loops. Aquarius, overthinking versus the Saturn pressure equals overwhelm. So if I'm ever in a space where I'm like stuck in analysis paralysis, then I'll most likely feel overwhelmed in those energies, right? Then it says keep draining energetic ties. This is what I was looking at. Keep draining energetic ties. So this transit pushes separation from what weakens you. This is interesting because like just last night, like I just could not sleep last night. And I was like, okay, what's going on? I just could not sleep last night. And I was just like, well, you know, it's just, I am, interestingly, like a lot of times when these transits happen, oftentimes before they actually occur, I am already like acting out the energies. Like, so which is why sometimes I wonder, like, are the astrologers off a little bit? Like, are they a little bit late on their predictions as far as like when this stuff is happening or what? Because I always, like weeks before these transits are supposed to be happening based on the calendar, like based on what they say that they're supposed to happen, usually weeks ahead of time, weeks or even months in advance. Hey, Big C, how you doing, babe? Usually weeks or months in advance, I'm already like acting out these things, like going in the direction of what I'm supposed to be doing. And so with this, last night I was just like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to draft those papers, right? And so literally last night was like the first, it's not the first time I thought about it, it's just the first time that I was really serious, like, okay, I've had a couple moments where I maybe printed out, you know, some papers and things like that, but this time is really just, it's like I'm kind of grounded in the knowing that, you know, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get that divorce, right? And it's not because Gino's doing anything wrong or whatever. He's trying to keep us together as much as he can. I mean, he is literally, he is not trying to let me go. Okay, child, he is not trying to let me go. All right. But you know, that was stupid as hell. All right, let me shut up. I'm not gonna talk about that because honestly, you know, it's I get it. I do. I totally get it. I totally get it, and I totally understand, you know, why he's responding this way. And all I can do is just have compassion and grace for that, you know. But anyway, this energy of the Saturn and Aries transit is literally what's kind of putting me in that space of needing to just kind of do what I have to do, because keep draining, when it says what to avoid so that you don't feel crushed. So what's going to happen, because I know what the energy feels like now, because I've been dealing with this for the last multiple years, where I've been being pushed to basically do what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's what Saturn does. Saturn literally forces you to do what you are supposed to do. Okay, Saturn forces you to get in alignment with where you should be. And it can feel like pressure, it can feel like overwhelm, it could feel like frustration, it can feel like pressure, basically, though. The way that I felt it mostly is pressure, like pressure, right? And so it says here that, you know, in order to avoid getting crushed, you can't keep draining energetic ties, right? This transit pushes separation from what weakens you. And now this is just my natal chart. Yours might look different. Yours might not have this in here at all, because you may not have the placements that I have. I have specific placement that causes that to be what I am picking up on this transition, right? So that's why last night I just couldn't, like, look, I couldn't sleep. I just could not sleep. And I've had a couple nights like that where I just couldn't sleep, but last night was specific, where I was just like, you know, and it was, nothing was going wrong, but I just knew that, you know, I needed to kind of address this monkey in my back, right? So let's see what else it says, how it ties to the eclipse specifically. So Aquarius eclipse equals energetic revelation. Saturn in Aries equals decisive action afterwards. So that's interesting. So the sequence is see the truth, cut the cord, reclaim direction. Yeah, so you're gonna notice clarity, sudden clarities about people or situations, feeling done with something that's dragging on, desire to redirect your future, emotional detachment where you once felt hooked. Which I kind of need some relief on this department, on a specific connection, because it seems like, you know, it just seems like it's, you know, like it's done, and I'm still feeling well, I'm still feeling attached, you know? So like I need to, if that's not going to go in the direction of, you know, turning into anything, then I need this detachment part to kick in at some point. Can you please? Okay. So now it's just more so about kind of aligning with your authenticity and your authentic self. And I just feel like right now, I'm just shifting, and we are all shifting. First off, this is not just about me, but you know, we're all shifting into these new alignments that are coming in, and you know, it's going to impact you differently than it may impact me. So this is another reason why I'm encouraging this video, is to encourage you guys to get your natal chart readings, okay? And really look at them and really try to gain an understanding on how the shifts in the planetary shifts, in the alignments and everything, how it's going to impact you, because it will impact you differently than it's going to impact me. So like, obviously we all have different skill sets, we all have different goals, we all have different life paths, you know, we all have a different natal chart. So that means that all of the shifts that are happening are just going to look different for you. Then it may not be none of this stuff that you're working on. It might be, you might, on your Aries, your Saturn in Aries might be in your, I don't know, house of, you know, friendships, or house of money, or in your house of, you know, I don't know, inheritance. I don't know what the houses are. I need to learn them. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I know it's just taking me time, because right now what I've been really doing is just looking at my own natal chart, knowing I go on TikTok and I hear all the different like shifts that are going to occur, and so then I run to chat to help me understand what that's going to mean for me, you know, every time I run right on over there. So I just encourage you guys to do the same thing, like, you know, yeah, I'm kind of encouraged by this, because sometimes you have like a little feeling or a little inkling, and it's like you don't know if you should act on that feeling or inkling, and then when you see it and hear that that's literally where the energy is going anyway, it's like, okay, you know, so you feel more comfortable just kind of like acting on those things that you feel in a certain way. So anyway, yeah, so there's that. So just looking at all of this information though is the reason why I named the title of this video, Billionaires Use Astrology, Here's Why. Okay, I heard a statement that said that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires use astrology. And I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at it and I'm looking at all the details and the information that it's sharing with me, and it makes perfect sense, you know? So let's go over this other part. So how Saturn in Aries interacts with your Aquarius placement. So this is my chart, right? But if you have some placements that you would like me to take a look at, I would be glad to do so, so that we can break that down for you also. Or obviously you can do this on your own. But I want to kind of share with you the type of information that you will get from this you know, from looking at your natal chart with the placements and how the shifts are currently happening, right? So it says Aries and Aquarius from a sextile of 60 degrees aspect. In astrology, this is opportunity through effort, support that requires action, doors that open if you move, not forced pressure, not collapse, not crisis. What this means for you: Saturn in Aries will turn your ideas into execution. Aquarius equals vision, innovation, concepts. Aries equals action, initiation, courage. Saturn equals structure, discipline, and mastery. Combined, your abstract ideas become concrete systems. This is huge for, you know, your digital stuff. Force leadership instead of observation. See that? That's what I was talking about earlier. It says Aquarius energy often prefers analyzing, observing, understanding systems, staying silently detached. Saturn in Aries says lead, decide, act, and build. You move from strategist to commander. So this is the placement that it's, or this is the information that it's talking about, where it's like trying to lead me into becoming a leader and not just a really smart person. A really smart observer. I just sit back and watch it, you know, see everything happen and you know, stuff like that. But now it's like, nope, we need to put you into the space of leadership, and I don't know why that is, but okay, I'll go with it, I guess. Increase personal authority. So people will respond to you as someone who knows what they're doing, is self-directed, is less emotionally accessible, is more decisive. This is excellent for business propositions. Reduce tolerance for chaos. Your Aquarius placements wants efficiency. Saturn in Aries removes patience for disorganized people, emotional confusion, time-wasting interactions. You'll become more selective. Great. I'm never going to have sex again, I see. Basically, this is what that means to me. You're never gonna have sex again, okay? I'm already fucking selective with my choosings. What do you mean more selective? I'm already selective. That means there's nil. That's terrible. So terrible. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, you know? I could be looking at this wrong. This is what it says. So emotional entanglements. So it says Saturn in the 8th reduces tolerance for draining bonds, secrecy, manipulation, dynamics, power struggles. You become more selective about intimacy. I'm already selective about intimacy. If I do that, if I'm any more selective, I'll never have sex again. And that's really what this feels like. That is what this is feeling like. I'm never gonna have sex again. Oh no. I'm already selective with my sexual energy, my intimacy, and my choosings. I'm very selective already. Any more selective, and I won't be selecting anything. It will just be, oh no. So does this transit favor? Yes, it does. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to share one other thing. It was saying what you should avoid so you don't feel pressure. So basically, once again, Saturn is here to, hold on, let me go back. So Saturn is here to elevate you, to teach, to get you in shape, basically, okay? Saturn wants you to fall in line with specific things, right? It wants you to get in alignment with specific things based on whatever the shifts is, or, you know, whatever is going on there, okay? So what was I reading? Well, we're looking at the pros and cons, or the don't do's here. Yep. So what to avoid so you don't feel that pressure of Saturn. So Saturn pressure happens when energy is misused. Avoid these traps. Now, this is for me. This may not apply to you at all, so I'm actually not going to read it, but I'll just give you a couple. Okay, over isolation, impulsive decisions, fighting unnecessary battles, right? So these are just some of the things that will cause issue with me if I am doing this, right? It's just going to cause issues. It's going to cause me not to be able to move in the directions that I need to move in. So those will be things that I'll focus on and make sure that I'm not doing these things. Even another one says staying in observer mode. I'm not supposed to. It says your biggest risk is overthinking instead of acting. Action relieves Saturn pressure, avoids stagnation. So stagnation is something that is a reoccurring theme in my natal kind of placements that I'm not supposed to do. Okay, you're not supposed to be stagnant. You're not supposed to, and it causes me issue. I was saying this the other day that it causes me to be either I don't know if it's anxious, but it definitely causes me to be like unsettled and uncomfortable. It causes me to want it be antsy, and I need to do something. I have to do something, right? And so this is another thing. It's Saturn causing me to potentially feel like that because Saturn gives that pressure, right? So yeah, so I really want to look now into what the negatives are of these placements, and then let's see. So what are the potential or shadow sides of each transits? Okay, so anyway, get your natal chart reading. This is what this video is about. Okay, millionaires don't get natal chart readings, billionaires do. Okay, so let's see here. Aquarius energy is detached, so the shadow expression. Here's the shadow side. This is interesting. Okay, here's the shadow side. Challenging expression of each transit, astrologically and energetically, without sugarcoating it. So Aquarius eclipse, shadow expression. Aquarius energy is detached, disruptive, and future focused. During an eclipse, the shadow can feel like emotional and energetic shadows, sudden disconnections, ghosting or being ghosted, friendships ending abruptly, feeling emotionally numb, isolation. Aquarius can go cold when overwhelmed, rebellion without direction, wanting to burn things down, but not knowing what to build next. Just the other day, I was like, burn it all down. I was like, burn everything. I was just so upset. I was just so angry. I was hurt more than I think it's just pain. You know, it's the pain turns into hurt, and then the hurt turns into anger. You know, that's basically what it is. Feeling like an observer, heightened awareness of not belonging. Oof, that sucks. Information overload. Aquarius rules networks, signals, and mental overstimulation. So yes, I can get that. Spiritual metaphysical shadow. So for sensitive people, feeling energetically cut off, sudden shifts in intuition, anxiety spikes from nervous system activation, disturbing dreams, feeling watched, judged by collective energy. Aquarius eclipses can feel impersonal, like forces moving that don't ask your permission. So this is interesting because I've already experienced quite a bit of this energy of the shadow side of the Aquarius eclipse. So that is very extremely interesting that I just read that. Saturn in Aries, shadow expression. So this is one of the tougher placements for Saturn because Saturn equals restriction and Aries equals impulse. So the shadow tension is, I want to move forward, but something blocks me. Oh, okay. All right, that makes a lot of sense. I want to move forward, but something blocks me. This is the shadow element of Saturn in Aries. The psychological shadows of frustration, repeated stops, delays, or obstacles. Confidence tests. feeling unsure of yourself despite wanting independence. Anger turned inward. Aries anger plus Saturn's suppression is burnout or depression. Fear of taking action, paralysis from overthinking consequences. Authority conflicts, issues with bosses, leaders, systems, or rules. Life circumstances shadows, show slow progress in new ventures, starting something then losing momentum, feeling like you have to prove yourself constantly, and physical fatigue. Saturn drains energy. It teaches disciplined courage, not reckless action. What? This is interesting. Guys, you have to get your natal. You have to read your natal. Listen, you have to get your natal chart. Okay, know your natal placements, or have them saved in your phone, and get chat and read this stuff and get to know when these planetary shifts are happening, when these transits are happening. Plug it into chat. Find out, how is this transit going to impact me? Because whoa. And right now I'm looking at the shadow side, the shadow expression. So I looked at the just how it's supposed to impact me on the good realm, but now I'm looking at the shadow side to see, you know, what that might be. And I'm literally recognizing the shadow elements and the shadow energy, like off top, like off rip. The first thing it said, I was like, yep, seen it already. Like, it's already happened. Yep, it's happened already. I seen it. So I mean, this is really good stuff. So let's see what else it says. Aquarius eclipse can feel impersonal, like forces moving that don't ask for your permission. So then it also says confidence test, anger turned inward, fear of taking action, paralysis for overthinking consequences, authority conflicts. Okay, life circumstances, shadows. Slow progress is in new ventures, starting something, then losing momentum, physical fatigue because Saturn drains energy. Whew. Wow. I have been feeling like that lately. The last couple of days, I have been feeling like fatigued. Like I'm like literally like, I would be like working and then I'm just like, I'm going home. Like I'm going home and going to sleep. I'm going home and going to sleep, like in the middle of the day, like literally in the middle of my shift. I'm like, I'm going to sleep because I'm just so tired and I just feel so fatigued. So interactions with Aquarius placements shadow. So when Saturn in Aries pressures Aquarius energy, mental overload, Aquarius wants to observe, Aries wants action. Saturn demands perfection. Results, frozen between thinking and doing. Oof. Oof. Relationship shadows. So pulling away from people suddenly, cutting ties harshly, feeling misunderstood, choosing independence over connection, attracting emotionally unavailable people. Yeah. The career entrepreneur shadow will be, while it can favor business, the shadow is fear of launching, imposter syndrome, overworking to prove worth, doing everything alone, burnout from pressure to succeed. Shit. Eclipse plus Saturn combo. The hard part. Together they can create. They forced realignment feeling where life seems to say, what isn't aligned must go. This can manifest as sudden endings, reality checks, feeling exposed, losing illusions about people, being pushed into independence before you feel ready. It's uncomfortable because it strips away coping mechanisms. Ooh. Well, yeah, there it is. Deep shadow theme of people of the period. For someone sensitive or aware of energy patterns, the hardest part is loss of control over timing. You may see what's happening but can't stop the process. Oh, I've been down this journey for so many different times. That's classic eclipse Saturn energy. Okay. So how to move through it without being crushed. Shadow becomes constructive when you act slowly but consistently. Protect your nervous system. Avoid impulsive decisions. Choose disciplined independence. Let endings happen instead of clinging. All right. Well, shit. I guess it's done then. Alrighty. Because Saturn transits especially are less about punishment and more about training for a higher level of self-authority. Okay. How do you avoid All right, that's it for now. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to get your pull up your natal charts and get your natal placements and readings and things of that nature. And yeah, bye.